India sets 2070 as the deadline for capping its net emissions. Prime Minister Modi announces this at the COP26 Climate Summit as he presents India's formal agenda on climate change. India also raises its climate commitments at COP26. India will increase the share of renewables in its energy mix to 50% by 2030, says Prime Minister Modi. GST collections in October crosses the 1.3 lakh crore rupee mark, the second highest ever collection. Commercial LPG cylinder prices hiked by 266 rupees. No change for domestic use. With the latest revision in prices, the price of commercial use cylinders in Delhi has crossed the 2,000 rupee mark. And it's a happy reunion of students and teachers after over 19 months. Schools reopen in Tamil Nadu, Kerala and Delhi. And the big announcement of the day from COP26. Prime Minister Modi, India's Prime Minister, has made the first date-backed net zero pledge. In a bold statement of intent, Prime Minister Narendra Modi told the COP26 summit that India will reach net zero emissions by 2070. Remember, India is among the major emitters. We're the third largest in the world, and we had not indicated any deadline or even a tentative pathway towards such a net zero goal. China and the United States, the other two major polluters, had indicated 2060 and 2050 as potential deadlines for capping their net emissions. Net zero emissions refer to achieving an overall balance between greenhouse gas emissions produced and greenhouse gas emissions removed from the atmosphere through natural means or by using the still nascent carbon capture technology.
वर्ष 2070 तक भारत नेट जीरो का लक्ष्य हासिल करेगा.
And while amplifying that India has steadfastly met its nationally determined contributions or NDCs and is on track to meet its Paris Agreement commitments, Prime Minister Modi also raised India's climate commitments. Prime Minister Modi told other world leaders at COP26 that along the way to becoming net zero by 2070, India will also increase its share of renewables in its energy mix to 50% by 2030. India will also increase its non-fossil fuel power capacity to 500 gigawatts by the end of the decade. And that big commitment that half of India's electricity will come from renewable sources by 2030.
Friends, क्लाइमेट चेंज पर इस वैश्विक मंथन के बीच मैं भारत की ओर से इस चुनौती से निपटने के लिए 5 अमृत तत्व रखना चाहता हूं. पंचामृत की सौगात देना चाहता हूं. पहला, भारत 2030 तक अपनी नॉन फोसिल एनर्जी कैपेसिटी को 500 गीगावाट तक पहुंचाएगा. दूसरा, भारत 2030 तक अपनी 50% एनर्जी रिक्वायरमेंट रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी से पूरी करेगा. तीसरा, भारत अब से लेकर 2030 तक के कुल प्रोजेक्टेड कार्बन एमिशन में 1 बिलियन टन की कमी करेगा. चौथा, 2030 तक भारत अपनी अर्थव्यवस्था की कार्बन इंटेंसिटी को 45% से भी कम करेगा.
All right, so India, the big headliner at the COP26 in Glasgow, where NETV's Radhika Iyer is reporting right now. Radhika, Prime Minister Modi setting 2070 as the target for India to reach net zero carbon emissions. Now, that really is a much later date than those set by other major polluters, but he has defended this by saying India has been sticking to its pledges in spirit and letter.
Well, we actually weren't expecting a net zero announcement at all, Sarah, remember, because the initial indication by official officials at the moment in a position to be sharing a net zero announcement, and they actually called off those calls for a net zero announcement. But here came an announcement that by 2070. India would have achieved net zero targets. And like you rightly said, net zero is creating that balance where greenhouse gases which have been emitted are also removed from the atmosphere and the climate. This, of course, has had mixed reactions. Many who have been reporting this internationally are calling it a target which is many years away from the summit's original target, but then many others have welcomed this and said that for a country such as India, for its size, for the strength, and also its socio-economic concerns that already exist, it perhaps is a conservative.
All right, so that was Radhika Iyer reporting from Glasgow, where India has made that big, strong statement of intent. Meanwhile, back home, just 4 days before Diwali, the price of the commercial gas cylinder has been raised by a massive 266 rupees. That is the biggest hike in the last 2 years, and it's bad news for small businesses hoping for decent earnings this Diwali with the COVID pandemic under control. In Uttar Pradesh, the opposition is trying to make price rise a big election issue with state polls less than 6 months away.
सर रिफाइंड आज आपने सुना सिलेंडर बढ़ गया है। आज आपने सुना सिलेंडर का रेट बढ़ गया। बताइए कहाँ से बनाए, कैसे सस्ता करें, बताइए, मजबूरी है।
A massive 266 rupee or 12% hike in the price of the commercial LPG cylinder means it will not be a very happy Diwali for Shalini Agnihotri. She has a small business making and selling snacks in Lucknow. A single commercial cylinder will now cost 2,093 rupees in Uttar Pradesh's capital. This is the 8th hike in the price of commercial LPG cylinders just this year, up 65%.
हम लोग तो बीजेपी के कट्टर सपोर्टर हैं। कोई कुछ बोल देता था तो बहुत ज़्यादा लगता था। खासकर माननीय मोदी जी से मेरा ये कहना है कि मतलब हम लोगों के मन को चेंज होने से प्लीज़ रिक्वेस्ट है हाथ जोड़ के कि हमारे मन चेंज हो, हमारे पूरे परिवार को इस समय इतनी ठीक है कोरोना में आपने बहुत कुछ किया, लेकिन हम लोग जिंदा रहें उसके लिए कमाना ज़रूरी है.
Another segment that is going to be affected big time with the rise in prices of the commercial LPG cylinder are these smaller sweet shops that cannot really afford to absorb this price rise and were hoping for some profit margins during Diwali. But with just 3 days to go for Diwali, this price rise is likely to hit them hard. आपके बिजनेस पे सर दिवाली के टाइम पे क्या फर्क पड़ेगा?
यार इतने टाइम की महंगाई की वजह से हम लोग कुछ नहीं कर पा रहे हैं. समझ में नहीं आ रहा करे तो करे क्या, कस्टमर को कैसे दें, कैसे क्या करें. कस्टमर कहता है हमको सस्ता चाहिए, हमको महंगा मिलता है हर एक चीज़, तो हम करें क्या इसके लिए बताइए.
With state elections in UP in less than 6 months, the opposition is trying to turn price rise into a big election issue. Samajwadi Party chief Akhilesh Yadav tweeted, calling the commercial cylinder price hike the BJP's fatal gift to an already under pressure business community.
सर आज जो है एलपीजी सिलेंडर के दाम बढ़े हैं. सर आज फिर एलपीजी सिलेंडर.
When asked today on the LPG price rise, this is how UP Deputy Chief Minister Keshav Maurya reacted. A sign, the opposition claims, that the BJP is feeling the heat over spiraling prices. With Mohammad Adnan in Hapur and camera person Vineet Verma, this is Alok Pandey, NDTV.
And at a time when we're debating global inequity in access to COVID vaccines, there's a danger of over 7 lakh doses of COVID vaccines going waste in Karnataka. Here's a report.
Over 7 lakh doses of COVID vaccine are lying unused in private hospitals across Karnataka. These include about 5 lakh doses of Covaxin that cost 1410 rupees for a shot and 2 lakh doses of Covishield that cost 780 rupees a dose. What's more, the expiry date for the vaccine stock is reportedly November.
वो जो short expiry which is within November 30th is the expiry date for that. And people who want to pay and take it, they are hesitating to take when it is available free of cost. Second thing, the cost of Covaxin vaccine is higher than Covishield.
Health workers point out that government hospitals offer both vaccines free of cost. There are adequate doctors and nurses to vaccinate, so the government facilities are preferred by the public.
Presently, I do not have an answer. We need to consult government in this regard.
80% of Karnataka's eligible population has got one dose. Less than 50% has got both doses. The private hospitals cannot sell their stock to the government sector without central intervention.
These vaccines are precious. At a time when just about 1 in every 3 people in the country have got both doses of the vaccine. Authorities must prioritize the proper utilization of the available stock so that they don't go waste. With camera person Govind Murthy, Nihal Khidwai for NDTV.
And after 19 months of closure, schools reopened in Delhi, Tamil Nadu and Kerala. This was closure, of course, due to the COVID pandemic, and it was a happy reunion for both teachers and students.
Schools finally resuming on-campus education in Kerala, Tamil Nadu and Delhi. All 3 states among the top 10 contributors of COVID-19 cases.
I'm so happy to come to school and so excited to meet my teachers and friends.
Kerala celebrated its formation day, resuming on-campus teaching for most today after 16 months. Reactions have been mixed, like at this lower primary school where only 400 of the total 1200 turned up. For many students and their parents, online classes have not been easy, especially with siblings sharing smart devices.
We are
trying to ensure that all the teachers are completely vaccinated. So for the time being, we have said that those teachers which are not vaccinated may not come to the schools, but we haven't given any order as such.
In Tamil Nadu, teachers welcomed children after 20 months with roses. This class 2 student is excited. She gave a handmade card for her favorite teacher.
In online we can meet our friends and play in...
For the first few days, it's going to be only lighter activities, for a few weeks at least, in terms of singing, storytelling and creative activities like drawing to make sure children feel more comfortable.
Staggered timings and counseling for those who have lost parents to COVID or where parents have suffered financially.
We have a school counselor and we will be definitely putting those children under the care of those counselors.
As a welcome gesture, students at this Delhi government school were treated to a movie and fun activities like Antakshari. Between the 1st and the 8th grade, this morning the turnout was nearly 50%.
आज हमने क्लास में अंताक्षरी खेला।
मैम हमें कोरोना से नहीं डरना चाहिए बल्कि हमें उसे हिम्मत से लड़ना चाहिए।
Meanwhile, a fully vaccinated school staff couldn't be happier welcoming the life back on campus.
बच्चे ये स्कूल की आत्मा है और 18-19 महीनों से ऐसा लग रहा था ये स्कूल बेजान है, आज इसमें जान पड़ गई है.
With Sam Daniel and Shonakshi Chakravarti, Sneha Koshi for NDTV.
Welcome back. News from around the country now, and power rates have been slashed by 3 rupees per unit in Punjab. The Chief Minister Charanjit Singh announced this on Monday. The new rates will be applicable from Monday itself. And taking a dig at the Aam Aadmi Party chief, Arvind Kejriwal's poll promise of free electricity, Mr. Chani says that his government survey suggests that people want inexpensive but not free power.
आज जैसी पंजाब दे लोकां नूं बिजली ਦੇ ਰੂਪ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੱਡਾ ਤੋਹਫਾ ਦੀਵਾਲੀ ਦਾ ਦੇਣ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਸਾਰੇ ਰੇਟ 3 ਰੁਪਏ ਘੱਟ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਜਿਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ 95% ਪਬਲਿਕ ਦੇ ਲੋਕ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਹੈ 95% ਲੋਕੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਟੈਰਿਫ ਹੈ ਉਹ 3 ਰੁਪਏ ਘੱਟ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਨ.
And the Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal out to expand his party's footprint across India. says that his Aam Aadmi Party has established a firm base in Goa, where assembly elections are due next year, accusing the ruling BJP government of corruption. He said that even the coastal state's former governor, Satyapal Malik, had accused the chief minister of that, and the Congress, he alleges, is the BJP's partner in crime.
हमारी सरकार बनेगी तो गोवा के लोगों को हम फ्री में अयोध्या की तीर्थ यात्रा कराएंगे, अयोध्या में श्री रामचंद्र जी के दर्शन करवाएंगे। जो हमारे क्रिश्चियन भाई बहन हैं उनके लिए हम वेलंकनी उनको लेके जाएंगे, फ्री तीर्थ यात्रा उनको वेलंकनी की करवाएंगे। जो हमारे मुस्लिम भाई बहन हैं उनको अजमेर शरीफ की यात्रा करवाएंगे। कई सारे ऐसे लोग हैं गोवा के अंदर जिनको शिरडी में श्रद्धा है, उनको शिरडी की तीर्थ यात्रा कराएंगे।
And that's the news at this hour. Thank you for watching.